Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Who is the 1% podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Scott, and this is where I interview people who demonstrate what it means to be the 1%. Let's get into today's episode. Hope you enjoy. Yo, what is up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to episode 2 of Who is the 1% podcast. I appreciate you tuning in. Today's episode is going to be pretty different than most episodes. Usually I'll be interviewing people who demonstrate what it means to be the 1%. But today I'll kind of be interviewing myself in a way. And I really want to take a step back and, clear a few things up, such as, who am I? Not many people know who I am. What is T. Scott Designs? Why did I start it? What does being the 1% mean to me? The future goals I have of this brand. And then answer the questions that I'll be asking my guests. I think it's fair for you guys to know what my answers would be, especially if I'm the one asking them. So to start off, who am I? My name is Tyler Scott. I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur, originally from Rancho Cucamonga, California, and now I currently live in Murrieta, California. I own 2 businesses, one being, of course, T. Scott Designs, which I started by myself, and then another one that I co-founded with my best friend and now business partner, Brandon Smith, which is a manufacturing and distribution company. I enjoy things such as, riding dirt bikes, mountain bikes, surfing. A really big hobby of mine is photography, videography. And, I have side hustles such as, ones I just got into, such as sneaker flipping, book selling, and, one that I've been doing for quite a while now, which is going to garage sales and flipping items there. And also, even though it's a hobby, photography, videography is a really important side hustle to me as well. What is T. Scott Designs? T. Scott Designs is a brand that I built to represent the people. And what I mean by the people, I mean those who demonstrate what it means to be the 1%. I really don't think that there's much platforms out there that represent, those who are going above and beyond, those who are giving back in the community. So I wanted to create that platform, create that brand that is really shining the light on those who are doing that. So that's why I built T. Scott Designs, and that's what it represents. If you go on the website right now, you'll see a bunch of clothes. And, of course, the first impression of, it's a clothing brand. In a sense, it is, of course, because, we do sell merchandise, we do sell clothes. But I put clothes on the website for the main reason that I believe it's the best way to build brand awareness. And it's also something that I'm familiar with because, going through high school, I really cared about what I was wearing. I, really cared about fashion, so I kind of resorted to something that, I was familiar with, and it's a great way to build brand awareness. So that's why you'll see clothes on there. What being the 1% means to me, that's, definitely doing whatever it takes to live the life that you want to desire and giving back to the community. 99% of the people talk about that they want to live this life, or they want to do this, they want to do that, and 1% of the people actually, take action and get it done and do whatever it takes to live that life instead of just talking about it. Also, I believe, those people are also the type of people that give back to the community. So that's what being the 1% means to me. It's not, 1% in the community that makes X amount of money. Future goals of the brand, definitely want to keep doing community events, such as the ones I've done so far, which has been, the beach cleanup that I did last year, which was a success. My friend Brendan and I, we went to the Midnight Mission in February, and we participated in a homeless breakfast service. We served breakfast to the homeless in Skid Row, Los Angeles. That was a really great event and a great time. Also earlier in the year, I did a fundraiser to help those who were dealing with the wildfires in Australia. And then now this month, which is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, I have a fundraiser going on right now to help fight childhood cancer. So definitely want to do more community events like that in the future. Right now it's definitely kind of more difficult than usual because we can't have, large gatherings, but, I'm figuring out a way to do things online such as the fundraisers. Alongside the community events, definitely want to see the clothes be in stores such as PacSun, Tilly's, Zoomies, Active, those popular stores down here in Southern California. It'd be really cool, to see something I started be alongside the brands that I always wore and continue to wear this day, such as Brixton and Salty Crew. And also, I would say the biggest goal of T. Scott Designs is having, the large events such as the ones that Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk and Brendon Burchard and Pat Flynn have, where, all these like-minded people come together, they collaborate, they help each other out, and, they just get to know one another, and help each other reach their goals. And I think it'd be really cool to where we have the 1% event where we just go around the country and hopefully the world one day, because I want T. Scott Designs to be a global brand and just bring everyone who demonstrates what being the 1% is and come together. So that's, I would say, a huge goal of mine. But that's the future goals of the brand as far as right now. I'm sure they'll get bigger and bigger and they'll change as I go. And now I definitely want to answer the questions that, I'll be asking the guests, such as, how did you discover what you're currently doing? Well, I had no idea entrepreneurship was a thing until I was 16 years old. I was working my first 9-to-5 job at a grocery store, and I realized really quick that I did not want to be working a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life. I knew what I wanted, which was, working on my own terms when I want, doing whatever I want. I didn't know that entrepreneurship was the exact definition of that. So, I kind of searched on the internet, what does it mean to, work for yourself and, do whatever you want, whenever you want. And sure enough, entrepreneurship came up. Faces like Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Pat Flynn, Brendon Burchard came up. And, I just changed the content of what I was listening to. Instead of just following a bunch of people on social media, to see, what is she doing? What is he doing? I really started, paying attention to the content that I was consuming. So I started following, people like them, listening to what they had to say and just taking action. And that's where it all started, really early on, realizing that I did not want to, live a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life, and changing the content I was listening to. When did you realize you wanted to go on the path that you're on? Yeah, I already answered that. It was when I was 16, working my first 9-to-5 job, and knowing I definitely didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. What was it like when you first started out? It was a struggle, of course. Entrepreneurship definitely has been the hardest thing that I've ever done. There's a lot of unknowns, so you kind of have to, figure things out as you go. But yeah, there's nothing else to say other than, it was a struggle. It was difficult. It was hard. There's times where you just want to throw in the towel because you don't think that, you'll get to where you want to be, or, you feel like, you're actually not making any progress. But I would say overall, I was really patient and consistent. And that's the next question, which is, did I think I'd get where I was at today? And definitely nowhere where I want to be in the future, not even close, not even, haven't even started yet, really, in my opinion. But as far as where I'm at right now, I would say when I first started, I thought I would get to this point, just because, like I said, overall, I've always been patient. I never got into it for the money. I just wanted to be, financially independent and do what I want when I want. So, I would definitely say that when I first started, I thought I would get to where I was at today. Do you have any daily routines or habits that you do? Yes, absolutely. This is a must. If you don't have any habits or daily routines, I highly recommend that, you pick up at least one. I have a few. A big one being, making sure I get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. That's really big. I notice a huge difference in my productivity when I started doing that. Another one is, writing down and planning out my day the night before. I have a whiteboard, and, I like to write out what I need to get accomplished the next day down on the whiteboard in order of most important to least important. Of course, I want to get them all done, but this leads to my next routine, which would be when I first wake up, I do what is most important right away before I leave my room and before I eat breakfast. I just get that first thing that's most important done and out of the way. And, that's relieved a lot of stress just because, if you procrastinate and you push it on, then that's all you're thinking about all day. So that's another routine. Back to the to-do list, just crossing them off, or in my case, erasing it on the whiteboard as you go along. I feel like that, motion of actually crossing it out or, erasing it so you don't see it really helps. And it motivates me to, keep going and try to get all the other ones done, because at the end of the day, I really want to see that whiteboard completely empty, because, that just tells me I was efficient and, productive that day. And I would say lastly, writing my goals down. That's been huge, I think, in my success, just because, I always knew what my goals were. I would always say them, but I didn't really start writing them down until the beginning of this year. That was kind of my New Year's resolution. And, my biggest goal of 2020 was definitely to start a podcast. So, here I am today. So that's just, an example for you to show that it works. And yeah, writing down your goals, it kind of instills them and engraves them into your brain. So I definitely think that helps. And, that motion of actually writing it down, it's kind of like, you're already committing to that goal. So definitely recommend that. What does a day in the life of Tyler look like? Well, like I said, I get up and immediately do the first thing that is most important for that day before I leave my room and I eat breakfast. But after that, I go down, I eat breakfast, and then really just come back up and work on my list that I have for that day. Like I said, I'm trying to get every single thing done on that list, just to make sure I'm productive. And then, just work on that, really. And another thing is I want to learn something new every single day, whether it's something really small or really big, at least one thing every single day. So, if I have, a few moments to where, I can learn something new, or if I finish my to-do list early, then, I'll learn something new, no matter what it's about, just because I feel like, if you don't learn something new every day, you're not progressing. And then I love playing basketball. There's a basketball hoop in the backyard, so definitely a day consists of me going back there and getting a couple shots up. Sometimes I'll be out there for hours just because it's really fun to me. But, yeah, really just getting that to-do list done, still having fun with it. You think about it, you want your life to be fun. So I'm not making this to-do list and thinking, I'm not, forcing myself to do things I hate. I'm still having fun. I'm learning something new and, doing things such as, playing basketball or, whatever it is. But, yeah, just a day is really getting that to-do list done. Do you have a job, or is this what you do full-time? I do not have a part-time or full-time job. This is what I do 100% of the time, and this is my job. I was fortunate enough to realize that, you need to save money early on, so I've been saving for a couple years, and about 3 months ago I took the risk and I quit my full-time job, and I told myself, let's see if you can really do this on your own. So I've been doing it ever since. It's been good, but yes, this is what I do 100% of the time. Do you have any mentors or people you look up to in your industry? Absolutely. I mentioned them earlier. Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, Grant Cardone, Pat Flynn, they're all inspiring. I listen to their content every day to, keep pushing and keep going. So I'd definitely say, those are my mentors in the industry of entrepreneurship that I'm in. But, definitely, surrounding yourself with like-minded people such as, Miles, who I took his course on how to, flip sneakers and books. And, Ben, who I had on the podcast, episode 1, I would say they're also, in a way, part of my mentors as well because, they're helping me with things I've never done. What does being the 1% mean to you? I answered it earlier, but I'll answer it again. Definitely, doing whatever it takes to live the life that you want to live and giving back to the community and just knowing that, you're going to have to be put in uncomfortable situations that, may scare you, but the 1% of the people are the ones who, face that head on and, do it because they know that it's what it takes to live the life that they want to live. What do you have coming up in the future that you would like the viewers to know about? Nothing new that, I'm starting. The podcast was, if you asked me this question a month ago, it would definitely be, I'm starting a podcast soon. But, what I have coming up in the future is just, the future episodes of this podcast and trying to accomplish the goals of T. Scott Designs that I mentioned earlier. So I would say, definitely stay tuned. New podcast episodes every Friday. And, follow along the journey on all the social medias to see, if I'm able to accomplish those goals. But, that's about it, you guys, for today's episode. Thank you for listening again. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I really wanted to take a step back and, give you guys some perspective of why I'm even doing, everything that I'm doing and who am I, just so it's some clarity as you're listening to these future episodes. So, appreciate your time. If this brought you any value or if you have enjoyed this episode or the previous episode, please, give it a rate, give it a review, subscribe, download. And, I'd love to hear from you guys on social media. So click the links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it brought you some value. Be sure to subscribe, download, share, and connect with me on social at tscott_designs as well as at tylermscott_. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.